I'm here to bring you the ESPN Fantasy Mock Draft. This is not actually a mock draft, this is a real live draft for ESPN Points Leagues. And I just wanted to bring this up because I think this will help a lot of people. And this is actually kind of going to be a mock draft for me. I will really not be playing in this league. This is just a fun type of mock draft. But unfortunately, people don't take it seriously, or not enough people join for fantasy mock drafts. So that is why I decided to just make my public league right here and pick players live. I just want to show you guys what players I would pick and a step-by-step ESPN points leagues. I already drafted three teams or two teams. I start the letter with whatever team I'm on. So this is the third team because it's A, B, C. So I think the first team was Arizona something. The second team was B something. So now it's draft time. I'm in a 10-person league, 10-person points league, and I'm going to draft players that I think I would pick in certain situations. I'm going to try and this is going to be a non-goalie league. This is going to be a offensive players first type of league. So I'm going to try and pick players that I would pick first throughout this draft. And looks like we have the 10th overall pick. And I don't really remember. Unfortunately, my rankings got messed up. I actually had them all perfect, and then my computer froze, and I was not able to draft. And it looks like there's only one active team in this draft. Maybe more join. I'm hoping at least a couple more so I can get an actual look at how my team will draft. And yeah, I think that there are a lot of good options here. I actually have Panarin pretty low. I really like these draft rankings from NHL. They drafted accordingly, like just about what I would predict. As you can see, the 4 points here. I don't really understand why people would put Stamkos over Matthews, just because even if you have, apparently they have Stamkos ahead of Matthews in terms of points for, but they have him below, so I would always watch out for that. But for my projections, I have Connor McDavid as the first player to be picked, and I think Draisaitl is next. I don't really remember. I had them all sorted out. I know John Carlson was the number one defenseman with 213 points. I think it went something like McDavid, Draisaitl, Zibanejad was up there, Austin Matthews was up there, Steven Stamkos was even up there, Alex Ovechkin, all these guys. But the problem is with a lot of these guys like Alex Ovechkin, he's not going to have the output that you would expect. So yeah, it looks like we're only going to have three teams in this draft, which is really, really unfortunate. I was really hoping to draft with more people just because I wanted to show you what it's like to draft, but at least we'll have some competition rather than none in a mock draft. So I just want to show you which players in which situations I would pick. I'm probably going to go forward heavy pretty early. It looks like Vasilevsky's going to land to us pretty early, which would suck because I wanted to do a forward draft, but I think if it's going to be off of the best players available, I might have to go Andrei Vasilevsky, and I think my next pick would be David Pastrnak. I don't think he would fall to me. I think he's at 30. Yeah, he's at 30. Yeah, I doubt he falls to me if I don't draft him. So we'll see. I really wanted to get a good forward in, but at pick number 10, I don't really remember what forward I had in the top 10. I know there were a couple 200 plus pointers that I had, and this is just unfortunate. I'm going to have to go a little bit based off of their forward points rankings. I really do not want to recreate it. It took me like 2 hours to do to reorganize all these points for and into my fantasy mock draft, but unfortunately I was not able to do so. So we'll see how it goes. And by the way, the scoring, ESPN does not publicize their scoring and how they scored different players. So here it goes. The scoring for goals is 2 points. The scoring for assists is 1 point. Scoring for power play points is 0.5. Um, the shots on goal is worth, I believe, 0.1. I believe it's 20 shots to a goal. Then the other player, and then I think it goes hits, blocked shots. I think it goes hits as point. I want to say hits as 0.1 as well. Yeah, and then blocks is 0.5. So block shots is actually a huge deal with these types of situations, and it really sucks that I don't have that um, in this draft. I think shorthanded points is 0.5, so that's pretty much nothing because a lot of the time you're not going to get that many points from shorthanded points. Like you're only going to get 3.5 points. Not really too much, like 3.5 points from Sebastian Aho here. But I want to go through where I would pick these players. And yeah, there's a lot of good players like Patrick Kane all the way down here. It's a pretty big steal, I think. Maybe not. I don't remember. um, I think I had Patrick Kane, Matthews. No, I don't remember. But anyways, I think I'm not going to get any of these players anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I'm definitely guaranteed I could get John Carlson, who I actually peg as the best defenseman in this draft class for ESPN Points League scoring by a good margin. So John Carlson really is not that bad of a player because he does get a lot of block shots. Somewhat 91 block shots is his projection for the 60 game season they have projected. But I think he is a lot higher in a lot of other categories for high point players. I think I had Jonathan Huberdeau pretty high. I don't really remember. Jake Gensel's a good one. A lot of these guys that will be 30, 40 point scorers are really, really up there. I think I'm going to have to go with a forward early. We'll see. It's going to go by pretty quickly, pretty fast. I think I'm just going to go with David Pastrnak because I think he's the best forward even though he's not going to play that many games. I think I'm going to have to go Pastrnak and maybe Vasilevsky, unfortunately. I think I can avoid Vasilevsky, actually. I think I can grab another forward like Jake Gensel or Patrick Kane. Brad Marchand Brent Burns was surprisingly high as well. I don't have him, I don't think, as 19, but he's actually going to be up in the rankings for ESPN Points League, which kind of sucks. I don't think you can get much value from him if he's at this rank based off of these draft ranks. I think a lot of people go based off of the rankings here, and then they pick and choose from certain spots because they want to get the most value in their picks. So I don't think that there's going to be much value in Brent Burns getting picked here. So I think you can already avoid him, even though I do think he's pretty more valuable than most mock drafts have him going. So let's take a look at who else we can pick. We have Artemi Panarin, another really good forward. We could do a Panarin. Um, we could do a Panarin Pastrnak combo, which would be really deadly at the forward spot. I just don't see too many of these other guys really doing much for me. I think I've got Roman Josi definitely at the number 2 spot for defenseman. He's definitely ahead of Brent Burns. I wish I could get Nikita Kucherov. I don't think that'll happen, unfortunately, unless someone would take Vasilevsky, which I don't think will happen. We have pick number 8. A lot of these guys are going to be on auto draft soon. This is unfortunate. I really wish more players would play in this just so I could give you guys a good grasp. Oh, who's number 8? Oh, Jack Eichel went. Okay, that's I don't think that's a great pick. Jack Eichel is pretty inconsistent, or he's kind of on a streaky guy. His Buffalo's not the best team, but I also think that Austin Matthews is the better points getter in fantasy, and he's on a better team, so I think he's less likely to have a bad output. I really like Austin Matthews. I don't know why he's below Stamkos. That makes kind of no sense in almost any format, I think. Maybe, I guess, in the assist category you can see, but he will have a lot of shots. Same thing with Stamkos. I don't really understand all these draft rankings that well. If you want to look at the 4 points section, what they have, Malkin should be up here. This is a little bit ridiculous. They don't have Malkin up here, which really shocked me. They decided to go with, I think they went with, yeah, what is going on? Patrice Bergeron as well. I don't know how this makes much sense, but he is known for getting a lot more fantasy points than this. I remember I did my draft after configuring everything out. I remember he was ahead of even Malkin, and he was around Patrick Kane level. But people have their rankings the way they want them. Oh, someone took Kucherov. That's unfortunate. That's the guy I really wanted. Oh, wait. No. Okay, so for some reason, Kucherov is at number 9, and he's got lower points than a lot of the other guys. I don't really get that. I think he should be. I actually have Zibanejad and Austin Matthews. Actually, this kind of makes sense because the goalies might have a better rankings. Sebastian Aho doesn't make too much sense. I would take Patrick Kane or Jake Gensel over them. Mitch Marner is a little bit skeptical. I don't know if you can take Mitch Marner this early. He is good. He will have a lot of points this season. I completely believe it. But I just don't know if he's this good to go this early at number 13. I think I would take Mitch Marner more around the 24-25 mark. But we'll see. Hopefully he takes Vasilevsky. No. Oh, he went with John Carlson. Okay. So he took the best defenseman in the league. I don't think there's much value in defense now. And he's going to take Mika Zibanejad. So now I can take Kucherov and I can take Pasternak. I believe that's who I'm going to go with. Because I think that they're definitely the best wingers available in the entire draft. So we'll see what happens, but I think that's what route I'm going to go. There is a lot of value in Vasilevsky. I could go Vasilevsky, Kucherov, and then hope Pasternak falls to me, but I really doubt that'll happen. I just think that Kucherov and Pasternak are the two best wingers in the entire draft, and then you have the best goalie in the entire draft. So we'll see. I think I have Kucherov and Pasternak. Pasternak, I have him number 3 or 4 total in the entire draft, but McDavid and company went before. So we'll see. I get two top end draft picks. I'd be really happy to take Kucherov. He's always consistent too. That's the thing with Kucherov. He will consistently get you those points. It's a tough decision though because I could have an elite goaltender, and I know that there are a lot of good players later in the draft. But I know that Pasternak will not slip to me later. So I think if I take the best forward, okay. So I do take Kucherov. Yeah, Nikita Kucherov for sure, and then I think I have to go with Pasternak as well. Even though he'll be injured for a good portion of the season, I think I can get good goalies as well. So yeah, okay. So now it goes all the way down to me, I believe. Now it's just people that are playing, people that are actually active. Sebastian Aho, Mitch Marner went. I'm going to actually. Hopefully, you guys can see this. Okay, so they went Aho, Marner. I don't think Aho and Marner are really the right picks there. Personally, just personal preference on that. But I'm really happy to take Kucherov and Pasternak. Although this guy did get Zibanejad and Vasilevsky, that's a good combination as well. I'm just really happy with the forwards I got. I think I've got the two of the best forwards in the entire draft. I can then when it comes back to me all the way back, I will be able to draft some elite forwards again. Artemi Panarin is still available, another really elite forward. Jake Gensel, another really good forward. Plenty of players left to draft. I don't really know how accurate these rankings are, though. Again, I this seems right, but I really don't know. I didn't plug it in exactly. I'm hoping that there is going to be some accuracy reflected on this draft style. Taylor Hall is another good, interesting choice. I think this is pretty accurate. He does like to shoot a lot. His hits and blocks will be low. Again, Kyle Connor's the same way. They've got 30 goals in 30 games, 20 goals in 30 games, almost. We'll see. Okay, so now more people are joining. You got Gensel, Burns, Marchand. Okay, Hellebuck. Still plenty of good forward talent. I think I'm going to have to go with a defenseman, unfortunately, or a goalie. I don't see there being too much value in all these players. You have a Mark Scheifele who's going to get a lot of power play points, goals, and assists, but unfortunately he does not shoot the puck all that much. Andrei Vasilevsky or Andrei Svechnikov, he is going to have a lot of hits, I believe. Yes, that makes sense. Shots on goal, I expect him to shoot a lot too, so I think these shot totals might be a little bit low for someone like him. I think they have him at the pace of, let's see, do my math right now, 231 shots. So somewhat correct, I think. They've got Kyle Connor shooting a lot. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get any of these elite forwards. I really like their mock drafts, actually. I think they're pretty accurate for the most part. They have John Tavares high, which I agree with completely. To win Patrick Kane, Sidney Crosby, Artemi Panarin, JT Miller. Okay. Roman Yossi, John Tavares, Mikko Rantanen, Blake Wheeler. Okay. Okay. Cale Makar would be my auto draft pick, which I don't think is that bad of a pick. Let's take a look. We have Patrick Laine here, who shoots a lot. I do like those max. I think this is the best way to go based off the 4 points, but again, I think I can get. I might reach a little bit and go for someone like Bergeron or a. Okay, I think I might go for Evgeny Malkin here. Even though I don't really understand why he's so low, but I just can't pass the opportunity to draft Evgeny Malkin here, and then I can draft another forward. Unfortunately, that's a little bit of a reach for what's going on with these mock drafts. Um, yeah, and then you have Taylor Hall, who I have a lot of faith in this season. Andrei Svechnikov, Cale Makar, Jordan Binnington. I think I can go with a goalie here. I think I need to pick a goalie within the first 4 picks. I think I can go goalie. I think after drafting another goalie defenseman in the next round, and then another goalie, maybe possibly defenseman in the next round after that. I think there's going to be a lot of value there. Although Cale Makar, I had pretty high. Unfortunately, Cale Makar doesn't give you as much block shots as you'd want. I don't think. I think Hedman might be the better choice, actually. Um, Although I'm not a big fan of Hedman. Oh, Giordano and Dougie Hamilton is still available. What am I saying? Um, Dougie Hamilton or Patrick Laine. I think I might go with Dougie Hamilton. Kyle Connor's also a good choice. Yeah, I think I'm going to go Dougie Hamilton. Oh, God. All right, now I think I have to go forward goalie or whatever's available. So we'll see. Cale Makar is a good option there, too. He's another elite talent. We'll see if Bergeron is available. He should be. There's also plenty of goalies available. No, nothing too scary there. Yep, Patrice Bergeron. What is he like? 50th? I don't think he should be ranked 50th. I think he's a lot better than that. I would take him over a large majority of all these players. You have Ryan Graves really high. Says because he gets a lot of hits and block shots. I don't think he shoots that much, he doesn't get any power play points. With only 15 points in 60 games, they project him to get 125 points through these hits and blocks, shots on goal. That's interesting, for sure. Look at the rules right here. Point 0.5 for block shots, 0.1, 0.1, 0.5, 0.5, 1, 2. Wins, goals against, saves, shutouts. Again, if I was taking this very seriously, I would be very happy with the forward core I have: Kucherov, Pasternak, Malkin. I think all three of those guys are elite at their position. I know Evgeny Malkin is injured right now, but he's projected to get back before training camp starts. So that's really good. Okay, Taylor Hall, Giordano. A lot of these forwards are getting taken. Gabriel Landeskog, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Doesn't really make much sense. I wouldn't take any of those guys. You have Chris Letang. I think I have him very high as well. So I think that's who I will be taking if I can get a defenseman. We'll see the goalies. I think there's going to be plenty of goalies left. Let's see. Yeah, I think I can wait another round for goalies. I really think that there's a lot of good goalies left. So my goal is, I think, Igor Shesterkin. We don't even know if he's going to start this season. Like I think he was 10-2 in the 12 games that he played. But then again, um, he's a goalie that may or may not have just had a really good start. Although I've seen him, I know his KHL numbers are really high too. But you also have Alexander Georgiev, who you would project to have a lot of games as well. Carter Hart, he's going to get a lot of starts this season too. Very young goalie in a dynasty draft. He's a lot more valuable because we don't know. Again, there's still some questions about this season. If he's going to get all that much playing time. I mean, he's going to be the starting goalie for sure, but we don't know if he's going to be a massive starter like an Andrei Vasilevsky, someone that's going to get like 60 games or like so many games of their teams of their team. I know Ilya Samsonov will, so I'd rather just. I think I can wait till the next round to draft a goalie. So we have Patrice Bergeron, who's still available, who I really like the most out of all these picks. Braden Point is pretty low. Um, they have him getting 57 points in 60 games. I think that's kind of low still. He's going to shoot not all that much. We'll see if he's available in the next round. I think we just have to take the best players available, who I think are the best players available, which would be Chris Letang. And then I can go with Patrice Bergeron as well. Um, and then I think I'm going to go goalie heavy. Um, so when I've got Kucherov, Pasternak, Malkin, Bergeron, I think that's a really good combination. And then I can go with a lot of goalies or something like that after. We'll see who's available for goalies. I know you want goalies to slip to you. As you can see, we still have a few top end goalies here. We'll see where they go, but there's still a lot of talent in the forward category. I think so. I've got the two top five. I think two top five forwards, top 10 at least. Um, these two will be alternating in and out between the top 15 and the top 10, I think, or top 20 in the top 10. I think that's a little bit more variance. But we'll see. Patrice Bergeron will have Pasternak. Oh, okay. So I've got two of the same. Okay, so I've got two Boston players and two Pittsburgh players. It didn't really cross my mind. But then after this, we can get some goalies in here. I know Carey Price. They said they wanted to start Jake Allen a pretty fair amount this season to give Carey Price more rest days because I think Carey Price needs the rest days. He performs really good in certain times and then okay in some other situations. But we'll see. I really don't want to pick Tristan Jarry. I don't even have him on my list. Tristan Jarry's a very talented young goalie too. As you can see, a lot of these goalies are actually very young and they're pretty unpredictable. So I think I want to go with. I know Jose Saros might be young too, but I think he's gonna get the starting role here for Predators pretty easily. I would love to get Ilya Samsonov, but yep, I didn't think he would drop to me. Robin Leonard, I would draft him if I could. I don't think he's going to be there. Then you have Jacob Markstrom, Jose Saros, Darcy Kemper. Not really the goalies I'm looking for, actually. Ilya Sorokin, I don't know why he's that low. So I think I might just wait a little bit. We'll see. I want to see their 2020 seasons. Who did well. Mackenzie Blackwood had a pretty good season, but then you have another very talented player coming in. You have Corey Crawford, who will be in a very defensive organization, so he'll probably succeed as well, especially with his history of doing so well. But then again, like Mackenzie Blackwood's probably the guy that they're going to try and get the most starts with. So I think I might go goalie forward here. We'll see though. I really want a couple of these players. Okay, so we had Max Pacioretty, Oscar Klefbom, Brady Tkachuk was a top player, Tom Wilson as well. I think that Tom Wilson will not and Brady Tkachuk will not have much regression this season. That's why I kind of want to pick these guys over some of the other ones. Max Pacioretty, he shoots a fair amount. As you can see, he had 300 shots on goal. But again, he's super inconsistent. Although he was way better than everyone else. Yeah, I'm looking for Philip Forsberg because he's another player I had on my list. But if he really played this poorly this past season, oh, actually no, he missed a few games, so that's probably why. Um, oh, okay, so I do get the goalie I want in Robin Leonard. I can get Robin Leonard, and then I could go with another goalie. I think this might be the best option to go with another goalie and then go with a. You definitely don't want Ben Bishop. He's out for the year. Jacob Markstrom is going to have to compete with Rittich for numbers. Um, Jacob Markstrom, I have more faith in to be the starting goalie for Calgary, but it's going to be an actual competition. Same thing with Mackenzie Blackwood and Corey Crawford, but I've got faith in Blackwood for doing so well this past season, even though his team did absolutely nothing. Again, Rittich is available too, and he's very high up in these numbers. I I think I can go with a forward actually. Um, I think I can just go with Max Pacioretty. Although he did have 20 points more than Brady Tkachuk, and he's quite a bit older. I think I can just go on the next turnaround. I can go with a defenseman and a forward again. Again, Oscar Klefbom, he blocks so many shots, so I think I might go with Klefbom late. Okay, I think I'm going to go with Max Pacioretty. Yeah. So they don't even have any of these guys projected very high. Johnny Gaudreau, they have him getting 62 points. That's a little bit over exaggeration. I don't like Johnny Gaudreau in terms of fantasy production because I don't really have too much faith in him. Interesting. Just trying to gauge who they have for each position, how many points they expect people to get. 27 goals in 60 games. That's pretty bold. Even though Oliver Bjorkstrand had a very good season the past year, I don't know if he can get 27 goals in 60 games. That seems like they're going a little bit overboard. Brady Tkachuk's stats are actually pretty accurate. 37 points in 60 games. I think that's probably what he's going to get. He's like a 50-point forward. We'll see who's available, though. We have got Brady Tkachuk. Let's see the goalies here. They've got Jose Saros as the number one goalie right now. Mackenzie Blackwood's later, and then you have Ilya Sorokin. So I think I'm going to go with skaters, actually. Two skaters here. Two skaters that I know will block a lot of shots because block shots in this league is over exaggerated a fuck ton. As you can see, they're 0.5 points per block shot, so That's 47 points right there for Jacob Slavin. Zach Werenski, does he block a lot of shots? I don't know. My draft rankings, again, are a little bit skewed. You have got Evander Kane down here. My draft pick is going to be Brady Tkachuk here, just because he does do a lot of damage to a lot of other categories. I think he will definitely keep me up there in points. They've got Oliver Bjorkstrand getting so many points, it's ridiculous. Um, Oscar Clefbaum. Let's actually take a look at. So we got a minute to pick. Let's take a look at his hockey reference. Um, his block shots. Yeah, he's been 180, 102. He's going to get up there in block shots. Let's take a look. They don't even have a projection for him. Is he even playing this season? We don't know. Wow. Okay. I don't really want to take Clefbaum yet because I don't know. Oh God. I think I might just take a goalie here. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I just don't really know any skaters that I really would love. Actually, I think I might just go. I think I might just go with, yeah, Colton Parayko. I kind of panic draft there, but Colton Parayko just I know he hits a lot. I think he can block a lot of shots, and I'm sure two goalies will line up for me later. And I don't think I would get a caliber player like Oscar or like Colton Parayko. They've got Morgan Riley getting 36 points in 60 games. That's underwhelming, to say the least. I don't think he's going to do this bad. So I think I can go actually with a defenseman and a goalie here for another pick. We'll see all the forwards. Got Dylan Larkin, who I don't really see as that valuable of an option. Timo Meyer, who likes to hit. Evander Kane likes to hit as well. Tom Wilson's a good option. I think he's a good late round option. We'll see though. See the goalies available. So Blackwood's available. I think I got to go Blackwood here. Um, Again, Ilya Sorokin is going to be another starting goalie this season. So I think I might just wait for him around the next turn. Anthony Mantha, 47 points in 60 games. I think that's a little bit under exaggerated. He had 37 and 43 this past season. So if he had 17 more games, I think he would get like at least 15 more points. So I think he's going to be at like the 50 range for points, 55. And power play points, they've got 12. Again, I don't really know if that's really accurate. I think I've got, so he's got 107 projected points right now, and Dylan Larkin's only 4 points ahead of him. That's like 2 goals. I think or Anthony Mantha would make up the difference there, but they're on the same team, so maybe Dylan Larkin picks up a few more assists while playing with them as well. So we got a lot of options. I do not trust Jake Muzzin. I do not want him on my team. Tom Wilson's a good option. Who else? What do they have is like the rank? Oh, okay. So we're like right there anyway. Anthony Cirelli, what the heck? Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Anthony Mantha here. I just don't see him not getting a bunch of points this season. So now that we got our goaltenders filled out and defensemen, this was definitely a forward heavy draft at the start. We had 4 elite forwards we got right away. Really happy with that based off of this fantasy mock. Again, Anthony Mantha, he's going to be a guy that scores like 60, 65, or no, like I think he could be a 70-point forward at one point in his career. Maybe even better than that, but he was at 37 points in 43 games. I just don't see how he doesn't get near a point per game the next season. So now we have Tom Wilson available. I think I really want Tom Wilson just because I know he hits. He's a grinder. They have him getting 3 power play points this season. I think that might be an over exaggeration a little bit. We still have Rasmus Ristolainen, who blocks a lot of shots, I believe, right? Let's see. Um, he, yeah, he should get around, let's say 75 or so. Do they have 77? He does hit a lot as well. Very interesting options here. I think Tom Wilson will be my favorite candidate here. I could go Philip Forsberg as well. Kind of missing a few defensemen in this draft. I think I might go with Clefbaum after. Mikhail Sergachev is another guy that I was really targeting. I think Tom Wilson is my guy. And now we've got Brendan Gallagher here. He does like to shoot, which is a good sign, but I think most of the points are in block shots and shots on goal. Goals, they have him getting 23 goals in 60 games. So what is that? 375%. So what is that, like 629 goals? They have him getting like a 30-goal season. I don't know about that. Anders Lee. Just a lot of tough decisions at this point, just because I do not have my draft rankings right now up, which kind of suck. So, um, you have Kubalik all the way down here getting 26 goals, 6 power play points, 150 shots. I doubt he gets 26 goals on 150 shots. I bet he shoots more than that. Tony DeAngelo, they have him super low. I don't think I've got him very high either. Um, Tough decision. I think Philip Forsberg's just a safe choice. I think I'm just going to go with the safe choice here and go with Forsberg. So you have Forsberg, Wilson, Mantha, Kachuk, Pacioretty, Bergeron, Malkin, Pastrnak, Kucherov. A lot of goal scoring there. A lot of guys that can hit and shoot a lot, score a lot. So pretty good draft so far, I would say. Let's see the goalies available. See if we can get another goalie. Sorokin is still available. That's a little bit shocking. He shouldn't be available at this point. I don't think. I really think he's going to be the starting goalie for the New York Islanders this season. That's why I'm a pretty big fan of him. Let's see last season. I want to just see what type of points players, like goalies that played on terrible teams, got. So we have Corey Crawford got 84. So I think save percentage is a pretty big deal here because as you can see, Braden Holtby went all the way down here. Jonathan Bernier with 63 points. Yeah, so I think a wins is going to be a big factor into these goalies as well. You know, 2021 projected. I really do like Shea Weber though too. I think I'm going to go with a goalie here. I think I'm going to go with Sorokin. Now he goes on to the skaters. So now we have 3 pretty much starting-ish goalies. I know they all have their questions, but I know at least one of them will pan out to become one of the top candidates. I just know Robin Lehner wasn't even a starting goalie last year, for the most part, and he had a terrific season for both teams, Chicago Blackhawks and Vegas Golden Knights. So him being in Vegas actually gives me a lot of hope, especially even if he doesn't start that much. He's going to get a lot of points for you. So I'm really happy with that pick. We'll see who we have here. Kubalik. Do they have Lafreniere available? Yeah, Alexis Lafreniere might be my pick. You know what? I would take Lafreniere here, so I'm going to take him. Shea Weber. No, I would actually not take Lafreniere there just because I know he'd be available for me the next round, but I'm not going to play like that because I just know a lot of these guys are on auto pick. So a lot of these really high level players are not going to be there. And now it's just about filling these spots. So I have every single player filled. Happy with pretty much my whole team. I think I'm a little bit weak on defense, but I still have some pretty elite defenders. I got Dougie Hamilton, Chris Letang, Colton Parayko. It's really weird, these draft rankings, because you don't really know who's going to go where in certain situations. So we'll see the points for last season. Again, the guys that lead these drafts for the defensemen are all block shots, as you can see. So this draft is really kind of messed up a little bit. Um, you can get Clefbaum late. You can get Alex Goligoski late. I think it's all about finding out which of these players is actually going to start this next coming season, and try to get one of these guys that block a lot of shots. So, for example, I'm going to take Jacob Chitrin. I think a lot of these guys will be available in your league if you do draft. So, if you're playing in a points league for ESPN, I would try to draft a lot of these guys late, the guys that have a lot of block shots. Again, it's really messed up. It's a really unbalanced league. I hate when this happens, when block shots literally ruin your league because they project the players that are ranked 1,000, 626, 770 to become top end defensemen. Again, Connor Murphy, 133 block shots. I mean, what are you going to do? Um, it's a little bit ridiculous. And then you have forwards for this past season. I think you should look at players that have another large block shots category, like Noel Ashieri. I don't even know who that guy is, and again, he's a top end player. So I think those are the players you really want to draft in general. But for this sake, I think I'm going to go Schwartz. They have him getting 20 power play points. That's really bold. Again, these draft rankings are very, very off, I think. They have Tyler Seguin still producing even though he's out for the season. I think. I believe Tyler Seguin's out for the season, but also I do not trust him. Let's see. What they have as their projected. Chris Ellers. I think Kubalik is a good safe pick. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Kubalik. Nice safe pick there. And now it's just all about filling slots at this point. Go with players that project well for block shots. That's how it goes. That's how this league is. I don't like it, but it's just how it's been. If you look at all positions, look at Clefbaum, number one, 153 points last season, and then you have Goligoski over Schwartz. Like, Tyler Seguin didn't even produce as much as Oscar Clefbaum, the guy at 770. You know, some of these guys are just, it's a lot of grind and grit. So when you're making your league, try to balance it out so things like this don't happen, so people can't abuse the system like we could easily do. So try to make it fair. I think block shots should be only worth 0.1 points, not 0.5. Block shots are important, but I think the reason they tried to do this was to make sure that defense and forwards are evened out a little bit. So I'm going to draft Clefbaum just because I know he's going to block a bunch of shots. Yeah. I just, like, there's, unfortunately. I mean, I could have just picked him late, but I'm not going to do that because who do we have left? Josh Anderson. They've got 17 goals. Okay, so funny thing about Josh Anderson is I think he got traded to Montreal recently, and he's going to be playing with, I think, a lot of the top talent in Montreal, and he'll have much more opportunities in Montreal than he did in Columbus. I'm actually going to draft him here, but he also shoots the puck a lot and hits a lot. So those two categories are really filled up by Josh Anderson's stats. Josh Anderson also only had a 1.6% shooting percentage in those 26 games he played, and he only had one goal. So he was projected to get actually like 7 or 8 more goals than what he actually did. I think an average shooting percentage for him is probably like 19% or something like that. Right now, this is just some talk. None of this drafting really matters to me anymore. I got the players I needed. I feel pretty confident with the team that we put together here. Even though we have one injured player, two injured players, an injury prone player, another injury prone player, but I think the team is surrounded by a bunch of players that will dominate the league. Um, Again, when you're looking for players to pick players that have possible breakout potential. They've got Jeff Skinner getting 19 goals. They tried to average his out a little bit. That makes sense. He's really hit or miss, Jeff Skinner. He also had an extremely low shooting percentage, just like Josh Anderson. But again, players like Josh Anderson, he hits a lot. I expect him to have a big role in Montreal. So that's why I think he should be going a little bit higher than usual, but nothing more than, I would never pick him over a Chris Letang or a Tom Wilson or someone like that that's actually proven that they're getting points and hitting at the same time. Even Philip Forsberg, I think it would be pretty bold to pick him over those guys. Now we have players to pick. Did Suzuki get picked? He did, I believe. Who blocks a lot of shots? I don't know, but that's the one stat you want to monitor. So if you look at players that have a lot of block shots, then I think you should go for that. So now I'm going to look at how last year played out. They've got, Kevin Fiala is at 567. Look at that. If you want to look at players that are very underdrafted, just look at how well they did the year before. As you can see, Kevin Fiala is a 567 rank, and I view him as an elite potential top end player. Again, Tyler Toffoli going to Montreal, he's going to have a big role, just like Josh Anderson will. I think it'll be a combination between Suzuki, Josh Anderson, and a few others. So now we have one more pick. I think I have to go defenseman, right? I only have. Actually, since this roster is so big, I think we got 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 players, 10 players, pretty much 10 forwards. Now it's just best player available. I think you just go Alex Goligoski here, or Connor Murphy. Actually, I think I'm gonna go with Connor Murphy. Let's see how he did the season before, or his career. Sorry. So, he only had 58 games played too. So yeah, Connor Murphy is kind of a no doubter here. Again, these leagues are super skewed, so we'll just remember to look at how many block shots these players have, and then try to get the starting goaltenders. I think that's the main key here. Starting goaltenders, good teams, good combination of everything. This team is a beauty, as you can see. Well, I hope you guys watched and learned something from this. Try to take this into your own draft rankings, and I hope this helps.